Villagers is a card-based tableau building and set collection game released in 2020 designed by Håkon Garder with art by Håkon Garder. The goal is to populate your new village with, this seems obvious but I'll say it anyway, villagers who perform different roles to make yours the most prosperous village by the end of the game. To set up, place the 6 starting road cards in a face-up line as the road in the middle of the table. Place the basic villagers of hayers, lumberjacks, and miners in separate face-up stacks nearby. Shuffle the remaining villager cards and deal out 6 face-down stacks, 1 each above the starting road cards, with a number of cards equal each to the player count times 2, for example 8 each in a 4-player game. Place the first and second market cards under the second and 6th stack respectively, visible to all. Each player receives a founder's card and places it with a 2 gold side up as the start of their village. They also take 8 starting gold. Place a village square card next to each player's village. Deal 5 cards to each player from the villager cards deck, and the remaining cards go face down next to the road and the reserve. Place the gold supply within reach of all players. First player is whoever lives in the same place the longest, and they take the first player marker. In Villagers, players are founders of a new village during the Middle Ages following a Great Plague. The game is played over a variable number of rounds, each broken down into the draft phase and build phase. In the draft phase, each player takes turns in order to draft villagers from the road or the stacks. Each player must draft 2 villagers plus 1 for each visible food icon in their village, to a max of 5 cards drafted. If taken face up from the road, any coins in the card are collected and the gap is filled from the leftmost stack, otherwise they can take the top card from any stack. After drafting is done, the road is refreshed and the build phase begins. Again, in turn order, each player may play 1 card from their hand into their village. They may place 2 villagers plus 1 for each builder symbol in their village at the start of the phase, to a max of 5 cards. Most cards require following a production chain as indicated by the names at the top of the card, and must be placed in the order listed. The first card in the chain can have 2 columns on it, making it possible to have 2 paths for the base card. Basic villager cards can be obtained up to 3 times per build phase by placing any card from your hand face down on a stack. When the first 2 stacks are empty at the end of a build phase, the first market phase happens and players earn gold from the supply for any gold coins showing on cards in their village. When all stacks are emptied, the second market phase occurs the same as the first, except the silver coin symbols are scored as well. After that, the game ends and the player with the most gold wins. Ties are broken by fewest villagers in a village. Worker placement will always be my main go-to in board games. A quick glance at my shelves makes that truth plain. My first love in this hobby, however, was a card-based tableau builder about a certain red planet and humanity's possible future there. There's transcendence in assembling your city or village or resource production or boardwalk, I'm doing that one soon, out of a crowd of cards that sometimes only vaguely combine into a unified theme. Despite its small box and limited table presence, this one sticks the landing. I adore the conceit that the villagers are both the populace and the town itself. For such a straightforward game mechanically, it manages to infuse every element with its theme, and the cute and colorful art style only serves it further. As much as I feel the constant pull of space corporations and mega credit production, some days I just want to be a Thatcher taking a nap on a bale of hay. I'm always game.
Called the YMCA, they can start you back up.